Hey everyone! Welcome back to Story Hive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let's jump into today's story. Wife's betrayal lands me in jail. The shocking gift I sent that made her scream. The spousal support is set at $2,000 per month. Plus, if our child goes to college, you'll cover those expenses too. The judge stated that this ruling would cost me over $6,500 every month. Despite my wife's affairs with several lawyers in her firm, I was the one feeling screwed. I'm Kurt D'Angelo, and my ex-wife is Lily. Our daughter Regina means the world to me. She wanted me to have custody, but the judge ruled otherwise. The trial felt unjust, especially with the high monthly support given Lily's income. It seemed the judge was biased against me, but I wasn't about to take it lying down. I planned to make Lily regret crossing me. I have a knack for seizing opportunities. Now I'm into real estate and own various businesses, including a coin change company. My coin change business allows me to pay the $2,000 spousal support in coins, making it inconvenient for Lily. Let her deal with taking them to the bank and counting them with her lawyer buddies. Lily stayed home with Regina until she started school, then became a paralegal. She quickly climbed the ladder, catching the eye of a rising lawyer who hired her as his assistant. Looking back, I wonder if she was trading favors even then. As her career progressed, she insisted on moving to a fancier neighborhood to flaunt our success, despite my preference for our current forest home. So we bought a $900,000 house and decorated it to her taste, but I never felt at ease there. Reflecting on it now, we had different life goals. I preferred a simpler lifestyle, while she wanted to show off our wealth. Now, back to the judge's ruling in our divorce. I intended to follow his instructions, though Lily wouldn't be pleased. In the following month, I made arrangements. My daughter would get her child support, but Lily wouldn't see a cent. It would go directly to Regina's account. Regina would also have good health insurance, while Lily would get a high deductible policy. After the 30 days passed, it was time for Lily's first spousal support payment. I had an armored truck deliver it to her house. Confused, she stood with a friend as bags of change were unloaded, drawing the attention of curious neighbors who watched as the change was emptied onto her floor. As the truck left, she yelled at me, but I just waved and shouted back, "Hope you enjoy your money from your lover." A man approached me on Tuesday asking if I was Kurt D'Angelo, but I stayed silent. He took a photo of me with the summons he had, and when I didn't take it, he dropped it saying, "You've been served," and left. After he left, I picked up the summons, realizing I had court next Wednesday, giving me a week to prepare. I spent the week getting ready for court and discussing matters. Regina joined me for lunch, upset with her mom. I warned her that I might end up in jail if the judge didn't agree. On court day, we waited with my lawyer. When Lily and her lawyer arrived, they taunted me. Regina tried to speak up. My lawyer said, "Judge, we don't know about any accusations, and none have been brought up before. I'm talking about a report from a psychiatrist I got. With that info, I'm sticking to my decision." So that's settled. 4 months ago, Regina was struggling with her divorce in school, so we had her talk to a psychiatrist. Lily must have seen something in those notes that she thought would help her win with the judge. I've never done anything inappropriate with my daughter. Lily was trying to make me look like a terrible person. I was getting really upset. I couldn't believe Lily would lie like that, accusing me of something I didn't do. The judge wouldn't even listen to my side. I glared at the judge. He'd regret this. It looks like Lily's law firm was calling the shots. We'll see how they do in the end. My need for revenge was starting to show. Lily's lawyer said, "We want the court to say Kurt D'Angelo did something wrong." My lawyer was getting as mad as I was. He could see there wouldn't be any fairness today. Your Honor, my client has done everything the divorce agreement asked. My lawyer was quick to speak before the judge had a chance. Judge, according to Section 513 of Title 31 United States Code, coins and bills are accepted as payment for all debts, including spousal support. My client has paid everything he's supposed to, including insurance, mortgage, and child support. Your Honor, Lily's lawyer chimed in. As of now, my client hasn't received any child support from Mr. D'Angelo. That's true, Your Honor, my lawyer said, but the child support money has gone directly to his daughter for whatever she needs. The judge seemed confused. He looked at Regina, who nodded in agreement. We've got proof of payment for insurance and mortgage, my lawyer added. I glanced at Lily and her lawyer. They seemed panicked. Your Honor, he said, paying in change is tough for my client. Can we switch to checks in the future? Finally, the judge got a word in. That sounds fair, but before he could say more, my lawyer jumped in again. Your Honor, could you answer a few questions first? And what would those be? He asked. Are the Chicago police part of the legal system here? The judge seemed puzzled. Yes, they are. Then why? My lawyer pressed. If my client's car is impounded and he wants to get it back from the Chicago police impound, can't he pay with a check? He has to use cash or a credit card instead. The judge stumbled over his words. Ah. My lawyer kept going. If the police, who you admit are part of Chicago's legal system, the judge, looking foolish now, got defensive. Because this is my court, and I make the rules. I'd had it by then, so I stood and said, you're just trying to please my wife's law firm. Were you involved with her too? He lost it. Mr. D'Angelo, you're in contempt of court. You're sentenced to 6 months in Cook County Jail unless you apologize and agree to whatever I say. Who do you think you are, the king of this messed up court? I yelled. The judge was stunned. He probably had never been talked to like that before. Bailiff, take him away. I glanced at Lily and her lawyer. They were shocked. Good luck getting your dirty money now, which I grinned. She had no idea how much her life. I got taken to holding, had to strip down, then got moved to the jail. Jail is a nicer word than what it really is. It's more like a prison. Right off the bat, 2 guards started hassling me about disrespecting the judge. I wasn't scared of being in jail. I'm 6'4" and weigh around 255 pounds, mostly muscle. Keeping up with my rental properties kept me in shape. Plus, I had spent some time in UV when I was younger. They processed me, then led me to the cell. I blocked out all the noise and commotion. My plan was to keep to myself and watch my back. As long as nobody bothered me, I'd blend in. When they served dinner that night, I grabbed my tray and went through the line. I leaned against a wall eating while checking out the other guys trying to act tough. Then, over the noise, I heard a voice I hadn't heard in years. Tex, said a familiar voice from my delinquent days. My street buddies called me Tex. Tex, said Randall, also known as Ringer, what are you doing in here? As he came closer, all eyes turned to us. I set my tray down and gave him a bro hug, right hands clasped together and my other arm around his shoulders. Ringer, man, it's good to see you. How have you been? Not great, obviously. I'm in here. And you, what landed you in this mess? I asked. Told the judge he was a jerk. Basically, that'll do it, he chuckled. So how long you in for? 6 months, unless I apologize to that so-and-so. 6 months, I guess. We talked 8 and got some stares from the other inmates. Ringer filled me in on what to expect. He promised to have my back, and I promised the same. We reminisced about the old days. After hearing all that, he asked, what's your plan with your ex, her partners, and the judge? Knowing me since I was young back then, revenge was always my go-to. That's why they called me Tex. They called me that after Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I always seemed to find a way out of tight spots. I couldn't wait to see what Lily and her lawyer would say when they found out I wasn't going down easily. The days dragged on in jail, but I kept my head down and stayed sharp. I focused on my plan, which was to gather information and keep an eye out for opportunities. Randall, or Ringer, became a valuable ally. He knew the ropes and kept me informed about the inner workings of the jail. We built a solid rapport, and his support was crucial for navigating this new environment. I knew I needed to leverage any advantage I could get. With Ringer's help, I managed to get in touch with a few contacts on the outside. My goal was to expose the corruption in the legal system, especially targeting the judge who seemed to be playing favorites. I had to stay patient and strategic. During my time in jail, I managed to gather intel on Judge Thompson's activities, and it became clear that he had a history of questionable decisions and possible conflicts of interest. I collected evidence and documented everything meticulously. My lawyer, still working outside, was doing their part to challenge the fairness of the judge's rulings and to push for a reassessment of my case. As the weeks passed, I worked on preparing a case to present once I was out. I knew that exposing the judge's biases and corruption could potentially overturn the unjust decisions made during the divorce proceedings. I kept my spirits high and focused on the end goal, making Lily and her legal team regret their actions and getting the justice I deserved. By the time my 6 months were up, I had a solid plan in place. I was determined to use the evidence and legal loopholes to fight back hard and ensure that Lily's world would be turned upside down just as mine had been. The day of my release approached, and I could almost taste the sweet victory that was coming. I was ready to take the fight to the courtroom and show everyone that I was not to be underestimated. Upon my release, I dove straight into action. My first step was to meet with my lawyer and present the evidence I had gathered. We meticulously prepared our case to ensure every detail was ironclad. I wanted to make sure that Judge Thompson's corruption was exposed in the most compelling way possible. My legal team and I crafted a strategy to put the judge's actions under a microscope. We filed complaints with the appropriate oversight bodies and prepared a detailed expose for the media. I wanted to make sure that not only would the judge face consequences, but that Lily and her team would be scrutinized for their role in this debacle. The courtroom battles were intense, with Lily's lawyers doing everything they could to discredit our evidence and paint me as vengeful. But the tide was turning. As the media picked up the story and public opinion shifted, the pressure on Judge Thompson mounted. In the end, the combination of media scrutiny, legal challenges, and public outcry forced a re-evaluation of my case. Judge Thompson was investigated and faced serious repercussions, and my case was reopened with a fairer judge overseeing it. The victory wasn't just about the legal win, it was about proving that integrity and justice could prevail, even against the odds. As the dust settled, I felt a sense of vindication. The battle had been long and arduous, but I had finally righted a significant wrong. I could now look forward to rebuilding my life with a renewed sense of purpose and strength. Thanks for tuning in to today's Reddit story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more amazing stories. See you next time.